Hello, everybody. My name is Domenico Gagliardi, and I am the founder of Walle Mobility. Today, I'm going to present Walle, that is the first Italian startup focused on urban air mobility. I want to start with the problem. I quote two very important numbers, 10 billion and 175 hours. The first concerns the world's population by 2050. Of this 10 billion, almost 7 billion will live in urban centers, which will grow larger and larger. The second number concerns the average hours spent by an Italian in traffic for a year. During our life, that time is almost 2 years. It is our duty to find new solutions for the mobility of the future, because we believe that the way we will move and the energy we will use to do it are a fundamental basis for a more sustainable future. Walle was born in this context, just described. So why Walle Mobility? The name Walle takes the name of Wall-E, the Disney robot. While the Disney robot wanted to save the world from waste, we want to save the world from interurban traffic. The concept of Walle was born in 2019, while at the beginning of 2020, the adventure officially began with the team building in February. During this month, we worked on our service and therefore how to offer the service to potential customers, what target to hit, potential first routes in Italy for Walle. So what is Walle's mission? Walle wants to offer cheap, sustainable, and fast intra-urban air flights. Our goal is to launch the first VTOL service in Italy within 5 years. We don't really believe in the term urban air mobility because this term was born in America, where the cities are much more overpopulated and extended than the Italian and European cities. That is why we believe that the term should be transformed into interurban air mobility. From this thought comes our service concept. Our focus will be short, medium distance routes with a maximum of 50 kilometers or an average time of 10-15 minutes. As the first two potential routes for our service, we chose two locations in Italy very well known, Milan and Capri. The two locations selected are very different from each other. In fact, the first route will connect Malpensa Airport with the center of Milan. The distance of 40 kilometers will be traveled in just 18 minutes, against the more than 60 minutes of taxis today. The second potential routes instead will connect the port of Naples with the beautiful island of Capri. Here, the distance to cover is 34 kilometers in just 15 minutes. The structure of the service offered by Walle is based on three basic principles. Battery swap, then changing the aircraft batteries to have the fleet always charged. High availability with the flight every 10-15 minutes a regime. Check-in and onboarding in less than 10 minutes. Now, I leave the floor to Marco Pugliese, our head of institutional relations.
Thank you very much, Domenico. Around the world, there are more than 300 different projects related to UAM, aircraft, and counting. Aircraft manufacturers like Airbus, companies like Lilium and Volocopter and several other startups are developing their own aircraft that will ride the sky in the near future. Some of them have already prototypes flying. You've seen a lot of them on the internet, but the majority is still working on the same concept that will hopefully take off one day. The challenge is to create a VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, with the green power plants and low noise impact that won't interfere with the environment, allowing the integration of air traffic with the commercial and private aircraft and the city life. The aviation world has strong and historical foundations. There is a rule for everything, and all the operations are coded. For more than 100 years, FAA first and the EASA then, the biggest aviation authorities in the world, dealt with airplanes, helicopters, air balloons, and other well-known aerodynes. The upcoming VTOL aircraft are changing the games. All the aviation authorities have to write new rules for these new aircraft, as all you know. New certification regulations have to consider aspects impacting the low airspace generally used by airplanes for takeoff and landing, and in rare cases by helicopters under operations. All the stakeholders involved in urban and interurban mobility have to cooperate with the aviation authorities in order to drive the upcoming choices and design the future. Thanks to electric vehicles manufacturers like Tesla, battery technology is running very fast. And every day we hear about new battery types that will increase the range of those vehicles. Most of VTOL designs require a huge amount of energy to operate, essentially because they are none other than bigger drones. Yes, they are the bigger version of drones used to take pictures from above. The power per weight ratio is still very high, as you probably know, like 1 kilowatt hour every 4 kilograms, to which you have to add other 3 to 4 kilograms of mechanical tools for support and fast charge discharge. And this dramatically reduce the range available for such designs to maximum 20-30 minutes of flight. Designers and manufacturers should start their projects from scratch, like some is already doing, like Lilium, and stick to something like convertiplane technologies, where the maximum power is required only to take off and landings and save energy during the cruise where lift is given by wings. Since we are going to operate to urban mobility and urban mobility network, we could not take the risk to be ready to deploy the service without a reliable aircraft fleet or without the permit to fly. Here at Walle, then, since the beginning, we've tried to address both the technical and the regulatory issues. In order to mitigate the risk of being without a flying aircraft, we look at potential partners with valid projects and an advanced stage of development. We look at companies with flying prototypes, for example, and involved our technical department in studying the project itself. Our knowledge in aviation, engines, batteries, and propulsion systems helped us to discard many ideas simply not technically feasible or far from the specifications we need. This reduced the number of potential partner suppliers. We immediately started a conversation with ENAC, the Italian Aviation Authority, and Milano City Major to create a network that will ease the introduction of this new way of transportation in Italy. Our target is to launch the service during the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Games, and we have less than 6 years ahead, and there is a lot to do. So thank you very much for your attention, and don't forget to go vertical.